I'm Jarek Beeson, Chief Information Security Officer at Waste Management. I am a SANS instructor. I lead the SANS Security Leadership Summit. I'm also a LinkedIn Learning instructor, a Forbes Technology Council. I do a lot of different things. I'm really looking forward to giving back to the industry, and things like this conference are one of those ways I do that.
And, just on that point, difference in your experience about meeting in person versus like what we're doing here, virtual, you hang up the phone and it's gone. Like, what are the things that you really get out of being in person?
There's nothing like, putting your hand in someone else's hand and breaking bread with somebody else and having a conversation. There's just something about, for specifically eating, something about eating with people and having conversations. Those conversations seem to matter a little bit more. You can develop a certain level of rapport in person that you just simply can't do in person. And quite frankly, I forget people easily. I'm really going to forget people virtually. I have a much better chance of remembering them and creating a lasting connection in person. And to be able to create those connections with like-minded people at similar stages in our career, it's something that's really invaluable. Just have conversation that we really can't have with others. It's something that I really look forward to.
Yeah, one thing I noticed that when I get off one of these calls, that just comparing the difference between being in person and not, is the goodbye, the end. In your experience, does it ever sort of end in a smooth, easy way?
The highs, the goodbyes, everything is just a little bit more structured when you're on the computer, because you specifically have the window that has been allotted to you, and the pop up on the screen when someone shows up versus someone walking in the room. It's just a different experience. But yeah, the goodbyes are a little bit different. The smiles are a little bit different. It's all different. We've adjusted to it. But at the end of the day, as humans, we're meant to connect in person. If you go back to the earliest of stages of human existence, it was always in person. And we've evolved to create these screens, but nothing can trump what we were originally created to do.
Aside from the obvious, hey, sharing the stories, is there anything in particular that is kind of interesting for you, given the setting, given the time?
I'm looking forward to hearing how others are approaching their role as leaders. I by no means think that I know everything about this job. Nobody does. So I'm more so a sponge than anything.
The role of tools, software, is that space getting more helpful, less helpful?
I genuinely believe all the tools exist for us to do 95, 96, 97, percent of our jobs. There's always those edge cases that the new tools come out and help fill those gaps. The tools exist at this point. It's a matter of how we harness those tools. It's a matter of how we leverage those tools, and how we architect those tools, approach the vendor relationships. I think there's a lot of room for growth there. But in the day, we don't succeed without them. And so there's always room for us to create better partnerships with the vendor community, specifically the vendors that we don't know about. It's that vendor that you've never spoken with that reaches out, that says they can maybe solve a problem of yours, that sometimes creates a little bit of friction. And there's definitely room for growth in the introductory conversation between CISOs and vendors.
Are they asking you hey, Jared, what do you need? Like, what's your priority? What's your problem?
They do, but when 30 of them are all asking the same thing, we can't answer all 30 of them.
Can you give us just the quick one, too, about what you're going to be speaking about?
Sure. There's a much maligned talent shortage. I believe that talent shortage can be filled with neurodiverse talent. It's an emerging view. In general, 1/3 of everybody is believed to be neurodivergent. Some are a little more easy to identify than others, but your autistic community, your ADHD community, your bipolar, PTSD, dyslexic, a lot of groups that often will have a challenge assimilating to society, often bring some of the intangibles that we need in cybersecurity. And we're going to talk about what some of those intangibles are and how we can, you know, make use of this population of people. And oftentimes you'll find that you have neurodivergent people in your organization already, and you're not necessarily getting the most out of them because we don't know how to harness the superpowers that they bring to the table. And we're going to talk about that, which will help with retention as well as attracting that kind of talent.
Is that the same thing as someone who is blind has better hearing?
Precisely.
Okay.
Precisely.
I'm a terrible typer. I can't type, and I have had a keyboard in front of me since I was young, and I'm still terrible at it. But I can do other things really well. I don't know if that's the same thing, but
It is. And when I have this conversation with people, their eyes are open, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the CISOs in the audience identify as neurodivergent after the talk as well.
all right, Jarek. Well, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to see you in Hawaii.
Thanks for the time to chat, man, and take care. See you in Hawaii. Hopefully the sun is perfect. I just I'm looking forward to getting away from 100-degree weather in Houston to a more manageable sun in Hawaii.
All right.
All right.
Have a good afternoon. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
Jarek. Bye bye.